Off the Record is a neutral opinion-based platform. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts or the producers. Off the Record is not affiliated with any political party or agenda. We aim to explore ideas across the spectrum using open dialogue and spectrum street epistemology. Our goal is to challenge group polarization and break down echo chambers. By creating a safe space for honest, respectful conversations, all discussions remain within the boundaries of Canadian law, including hate speech regulations.
This isn't left, and this isn't right. This is Off the Record Canada. In a world where echo chambers shout louder than the truth, where mobs cancelled before they are questioned, and where opinions are more about teams than thinking, we're breaking the cycle. Here, we don't debate to win, we ask to understand. Using the power of spectrum street epistemology, we're hitting the pause on the noise, peeling back the layers of unbelief, and asking, why do we think the way we do? This is the spot for the curious to unravel what is going on behind the scenes. The ones who feel stuck between extremes. We are here to break that group polarization because we know the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Welcome to the conversation you didn't know you needed. This is Off the Record.
Hi folks, you're listening to Off the Record Canada. I'm your host, Stephanie Costigan, and my co-host joining me is the dashing Jerem, and the remarkable James is unfortunately not with us today, but you'll hear from him soon. But we're just going to discuss a little bit about today and how today went with our session that we did of the Spectrum Street Epistemology at the university. We went to Mount Royal again. We're freaking loving Mount Royal this month, but don't you worry, we'll catch the rest of you later.
Yeah, if you guys in Mount Royal saw us, well, g'day guys. We had out a few stickers today, so here we are today. So we had a few nice discussions. Unfortunately, we didn't get a quite great flow today because we had
finals.
Well, midterms and everything else today, and we found out reading week is next week. So better luck next time, but it was a nice experience for us. We enjoyed the talks we had. Unfortunately, I'm still longing and waiting for the nice long, the big rush when everyone joins in.
We had, like we discussed with James, we had an amazingly big circle, but we didn't catch it on camera, which we were so sad. I thought it was recording, but it wasn't. But we had one of those students from that circle return today and discuss her point of view. So we'll show you some of that now.
Canadians would benefit with stronger hate speech laws such as Bill C-9 Combating Hate Act and Bill C-63 Online Harm Act. And I can see right here you're on strongly agree. Okay.
So by introducing these laws, it's not in terms of people getting thrown in the gulag, especially when you read them. They are very careful in the wording of who will be considered. Even in C-63's case, it is in regards to the operators of services, not the individuals, even though it does have a clause that if the investigation into flagged content under Bill C-63 is brought to the attention and found to not break any laws, but there's something within said content that does break a law, that's no different than if you have a police officer come into your house because you're reporting a break and entry and you have a loaded gun on the counter. They're still going to have to treat that as an illegal act. That is still unlawful storage of firearms. You still need to treat that as an infraction of the law. And so these laws aren't about infringing what people can or can't say. It is about making sure that they can't say it in a way that infringes upon other people's rights to believe what they say.
I could definitely go into my criticisms of how Canada traditionally falls into what could almost be described as a two-party system. I do think a lot of partisan politics in Canada are based on we just go with the team we've always gone with. Wherein we've seen, for example, in Carney's government, a lot of his recent actions could be described as very conservative actions, even though he is
liberal.
Exactly. And I think sometimes you get a bit too caught up in the party politics over personal politics, where we just go with the team we've always gone with. And I think that's something we need to be aware of, is that our parties do occasionally have mix-ups. Occasionally they speak on matters they don't have the best education on, and unfortunately it does come to bite them in the ass.
I definitely agree with you on that.
And that goes regardless of party. I mean, there's been plenty of fiascos that we could list on either side. It's not necessarily limited to one party, but what is the issue is people just take it at face value.
Yeah. So we had a great talk with them today, and she did a great job, discussing and, helping understand that, it's not as one-sided, as, not so much as we thought, but it made us think twice about, how we felt about the bill. So that's the whole point of this whole thing is, we're not left or right. We want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I think there's enough people sharing their opinions, but not enough people collaborating and talking with each other, and even those they wouldn't normally talk with. Because I think people can find that we actually have more in common on the right and left lean than they would expect. And I think it's important that we're able to recognize that, because we are so strong, we are united.
And that's the whole reason why we had the MATS, the epistemology, spectrum, is because if we didn't have it, we can't discuss. We're there to facilitate the whole conversation, not simply kind of push our agenda or push out a message. It's more like we discuss and we talk to each other, and that was very important for the students when they were there last time, that they were able to talk to each other and convince each other, because we just talk to them and they go, oh, I have an opinion and that's my opinion and that's it, and they walked away. Exactly.
We need to think critically, and it's not bad to challenge ideas, and that's what we're doing. And you'll notice that a lot of our videos is just one person approaching. There have been like a time, like I said, that we had a big group. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it on camera. So sad. But we hope as you guys watch us, we'll probably get more and more big groups. And if you're at a certain university and you want to see us there, please shout out your university. Maybe we'll just pop by and take a visit there. But yeah, we're having just a blast visiting and hearing different ideas and perspectives. We have no judgment towards anybody. It's good to share ideas.
I think my biggest takeaway today that I was noticing is that, it wasn't necessarily about political things. It was actually interesting that each kind of major or someone's kind of focus in school kind of really actually shifted how they believed or what they saw about the bills. Different things, different majors actually influence their thoughts and their what they want to share. I spoke to a history major today, and unfortunately I didn't get that recording because the fact that
they weren't comfortable with it. We don't record if they're not comfortable.
It was unfortunate, but it is what it is. And it was nice to hear from them and hear from their perspective, hearing the history and how history repeats itself or kind of leaks into, these bills. And, because for me, I'm quite a history guy too. I love my history. A lot of my studies were in history, and, I feel like history is a major part in our future. If we know our history, we know our future.
100%.
If we keep it, if we know about it, we can know how to prevent it again.
Well, what was the history major's perspective? Were they for the bill or were they against it?
They said that it's it's a little heavy, but they can understand the reasons behind it. They can they were kind of somewhat in the middle of the whole thing, because it's it's a bit too strict, but it was a good thing to have.
I can see the need for it, but I do still feel that it's a little heavy, a little
too heavy. Yeah.
It's a little too heavy, the punishment. And
I think that was a common
I think that was a common thing. A lot of people do agree that we need these certain things in place. However, that doesn't mean we want to be open to being manipulated by a certain governmental party. But I think when it comes down to it, everybody just wants love and respect for each other. Love and respect, no matter what religion you are, no matter how you identify, no matter what race. I think it just comes down to really communicating that love and respect. And if someone has sour feelings towards another, instead of maybe name calling or put downs, we should have a sit down and discuss it like adults.
Yeah, and I think it was also interesting. I had another discussion with someone else, literally one after the other. I spoke to the history, then I spoke to another guy, and I was unfortunately while it wasn't recording, and I was just talking to him, and he was kind of way out of out of our base, where he just didn't want to be in the camera view.
And that's okay. We understand that it's nerve-wracking for a lot of people.
Right, and I think he was a psychology major, which was another.
Interesting. Oh, I would have loved to hear his position. I wasn't there when this happened. What did he say about that?
Well, because because I didn't ask about it at first. I just wanted to hear his opinion, and then he was sharing his opinion that, he apparently even looked over the bill. He actually walked past us, and he saw it, and then he decided to do a little studying, a little reading on it.
Oh.
And then he came back, and then he wanted to share his opinion. He was literally waiting patiently for me to finish.
That's amazing. Was he for or against it?
So he said there's a bit of a gray area.
There is. That's why I think people are a little worried.
But what I liked what he said, though, and I agree entirely what he said about this, that he was slightly for the bill, but the thing is that it's nice to have, because the problem about the bill is too gray, but he's saying that there has to be gray. There has to be some gray.
Explain why.
Well, because you think about it. If you, let's say that some people kind of find loopholes in the rules. If it's so black and white, then there's ways around finding loopholes in it. For example, think about the ones that in Germany made that certain symbol, and let's say that another group that are just like these people had a new symbol that are kind of doing the same thing, and their symbol is basically continuing what they were doing, but it's a different symbol under the same what that man did and that group did in Germany. So if you think about it, if it was a specific symbol, that's the black and white, but there's a little gray. That's where you can still get those that are in the gray that are trying to find the loophole. Get what I'm saying? Okay, because if they change the symbol, then it's the same group, just a different symbol. So that's why there needs to be some gray. That's why we need judges. Judges can at least judge the gray area from those laws. And
then here's, I don't know, for me, this is where my background in reporting comes from, and also from experience that we'll probably dive in later in this series. But we're gonna, when the time is right, we have a very interesting case that we're gonna talk about. Mm-hmm. But now's not the time. But this case has really shooken my faith in government organizations, as you know.
Oh, you mean the discussion you had today?
Yes. Anyways, we won't dive into that because that will come later on.
Yeah.
It's a very off-the-record story that when the time is right, it will be on the record, and it will be shared, and it will be absolutely giant.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to bring, I guess, to attention a lot of certain people in positions abusing their power, and how there needs to be that gray area kind of gives room for certain government people to abuse their positions. And it's very concerning because it can really hurt innocent lives when that happens. So anyways, I won't give away too much on that note, but that's where I'm a little... Sorry?
Oh, that way you're a little bit kind of about the gray area thing?
The gray area scares me. That's why I think it needs to be very specific.
I know, but but at the same time, there has to be a little bit of gray.
I know that has to be gray, but
a little bit of gray.
I'm scared. I'm still scared of the manipulation.
I know, but I agree entirely what he was saying. There has to be a little bit of gray because some people can fudge and kind of.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're kind of doing the loopholes, finding a little hole in the situation. You know, if someone used the literal symbol from the Germans in World War II and decided just to simply rebrand it as a different symbol, then, you know, that's basically a hate symbol, but just relabeled as something else.
We also had some students that when they approached it and we explained it to them, they were like, you know what, we don't want to comment at this time. And I think that's really smart, actually, because the reason they didn't want to comment is not because they didn't have a comment, but they told me in private that they wanted to do more research on the bill and then come back.
Oh, definitely.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's actually really freaking smart of them to do. Like, really smart.
Right. And going back to the same guy that I was talking about with the psychology major, then I asked specifically about the group polarization. And he was like, well, yeah, I totally agree. This is like, because with like media and everything, we just, like, because I shared that how we are not this way or that way, and it's like, you know, that's respectable, and I think that's a good idea.
I think we need more of these conversations. Oh, we also had conversations with professors. We didn't record them out of respect.
Well, literally, we also were literally packing up and he just turned up.
No, there was a professor, but then there were two workers, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, them too, yeah.
I don't know if they were professors, but I know they worked at the university.
Yeah, I know they worked at the university.
But, like, they were really impressed by the approach. So I think it was really, like, awesome. Like, I think they expressed that they want more of this in schools, and I think how much it's needed.
Yeah, because I think we need thoughts like this. You know, we need people to share their ideas and not under a bushel, may I say it, like hiding, you know, our light, because we like to share our thoughts and our intentions and try to not simply push an agenda.
Exactly. I think, like I said, I think we have enough people on social media that are like, yeah, I'm for this team, I'm for that team, and I think it's actually, bless their hearts, I think it's doing more harm than it is good without them realizing it. Yes, they feel like they're freedom fighters and they're fighting for the truth. That's all good and dandy, but it actually can create more group polarization, do more damage than they realize. And I'm noticing from this generation, like at university, the Gen Zs, I think they're a lot smarter than people are giving credit. Like, I have talked to, like, these past 2 times that we visit the university, the students I have talked to are freaking smart, and I don't think they get enough credit. They're so freaking smart, okay? I actually feel like relieved for our future. I do. Like, I feel like anybody can be manipulated, okay? And I think if anything, maybe they're a little naive at most. But they're smart. They're smarter than they've been given credit. And I honestly think if we pulled out all our politicians and put these students in, I actually think they would run it a lot better than these politicians, to be honest. Like, on both sides. I totally think that these students are, you know, most of them have the best intentions at heart for everybody. And I do feel like I can feel it on them. You know, I feel like they're a special generation. And what's interesting about Gen Z is they are so much, I was thinking a lot about this, they are so much a community generation. Like, they are so into their community. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get it.
They're very community. Like, for myself, I'm gonna give away my age a little bit. I'm a 90s baby. Sup? 90s baby. Anyways, but
Gen Zs are in 90s, but anyways.
Well, some of them, not all of them.
Not all, but some.
We're millennials. We're millennials, but basically, I'm just blown away, like, because I feel like millennials, like, it's not like we're not community people, but we're not. Do you know what I mean?
We're like just kind of like.
Sup?
Well, like we're kind of like millennial. We're like community kind of group, but at the same time we're kind of nomads at the same time.
I agree. We're kind of in the middle. Hey, we're like, yeah, we're kind of nomads a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, I think because it's a bit of an awkward time between internet came into the world when like I think Gen X basically kind of had their community and then kind of got into the internet.
Well, like, anyways, going back to topic, our topic was again the same thing. If our statement was Canadians would benefit from more hate speech laws such as Bill C-9, the Combating Harms Act, and Bill C-63, the Online Harms Act. Or no, it was Combating Hate Act. And then Online Harm Act. Getting better at it. But there were some really smart points that were made. Thank you. Go on. You were saying?
What's it called? The hate speech, like for spend life in prison for hate speech is like a little too much.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, like at the end of the day, just speech. Like, you're not really doing anything. You're not like hitting someone, abusive, all that stuff. It's just verbal. So I feel like 2 to 3 years is probably like more ideal.
I agree. I do agree with you. If with this bill, where would you stand? Like, if there was more, maybe it was more description, because right now it's just a proposed bill and it's not, it's just harm and hate, and it goes specifically, it does mention religion.
Yeah, like if you say like commit murder, I'm not too educated on all of this, but like if you commit murder, it's like around the same thing, you know. So it's like
it's pretty intense.
It's not, you know, it doesn't make sense for it to be like the same amount of sentence for just hate speech and then for murder.
Yeah, definitely. You know. Well, where would you stand on this?
Slightly disagree.
Yeah. So in order for you to agree with this, what do you think would need to happen? What would change your mind?
The sentence to be decreased. Mm-hmm. Like back to like maybe like 3 to 4 years even. Mm-hmm. But just like the life thing is just too much, to be honest.
Like the government can help a person.
Exactly, like a rehabilitation.
Like to help a person stop spreading like hatred, harmful words, like racially motivated stuff to other people that can affect them like day-to-day life. Mm-hmm. So I wish they could do that, like government, instead of like preventing them going to jail. Like jail is like for something like a crime, like something you did something wrong. Mm-hmm. Like you know it and you did something wrong. For this, like you can learn and you can improve yourself from this. Honestly, that was it.
Do you think the penalty is like pretty steep though?
Yeah, it's like for some other charges, I want to say, like it's like get like shortened sentences than like something like this. So I would say like shortened sentences for this and longer sentences for other crimes that should be longer instead of shorter time, because it's kind of unfair, and like the person like in the jail could like come out again and like do the same thing
exactly again. Yeah,
it could be unsafe for everyone in like the community.
Like, I'd rather deal with the person that actually makes bad hate than the person who actually does something that actually hurts somebody.
Yeah. So it's like, honestly, I would personally reduce the sentence for this and increase the sentence for other crimes that deserve
So
it.
as the bill stands right now, I think we all agree that hate speech is wrong and it shouldn't be tolerated, but this is a little too crazy.
Yeah, it's a little too crazy what our minister has done. But
Or proposed.
Proposed. Proposed are the thing. I want to say like reduce the thing, put in rehabilitation, change your perspective on people instead of like harming, saying all this stuff. Because they're just humans after all, they can learn. But for people who did crimes and all that type of stuff, increase their sentence, put them in rehabilitation, change them as well. Hopefully everyone gets.
So would you, as this bill stands proposed, would you agree with it, or where would you stand?
So that would be like you disagree with.
Yeah, this is the.
Guess what? Basically, as I told, you can change after a while. So I wouldn't really strongly disagree, because you can a person can fake it after a while. It's like pretend to do all that type of stuff and go back online, go into another person and say all this type of stuff again. So I was like, but slightly disagree.
Definitely.
For it, we can be more mature, and violence is never the key. I was proud to say, violence is never the key. Killing someone is not right. As many people say, oh, this and that. It's his opinion. I mean, it's everyone's opinion. We should not kill someone for his opinion. You should instead you should just talk it out, have a calm debate instead of yelling.
Definitely.
Violence is never the option in life.
I definitely agree. It's a pleasure. What's your name? It's a case by case. I guess we have to be more careful these days. Honestly, I agree.
But people can simply cry. They say, "Oh yeah, I was drunk."
Well, that's the problem. That's the gray area that I'm telling you. I don't know. I still think it's putting a little bit too much power into the hands. I don't get me wrong. I do feel we need laws like this. I do.
I agree.
And especially with group polarization is so rampant on social media, it's bad. Social media should actually have laws to them. Anything political, we should get the two freaking sides of the story.
I think they should. Yeah, I just think that they all should be in one place. I think
we should not just be, the algorithm just pushes what you feed into. When you feed into a certain political idea, you just listen to that and that and that and that, and you get lost in it.
I know, but I think that's important.
And then you get caught into the freaking Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole of where these things go.
I know, but the thing is that at the same time, I think that's the whole why they make the algorithm, just so we get what we want. But the fact is that
but it's not. That's where I think there should be a law in place, because we should still get what we want, but anything political, there should be both sides presented. And then
it's pretty hard though.
And not just that, is we should be holding different outlet reporters to, I'm a former reporter, and I can tell you right now, we do have a code of ethics, and we're not supposed to be putting any opinion or any lean into the stories, but a lot of reporters are caught doing it, and I don't think that's right. I think that's not following code of ethics. Honestly, our code of ethics, any emotion in a report should be from what the people are saying. And I've seen reporters that only report or interview one side that they lean into, and that's wrong. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's a dirty play, and that's just creating more group polarizations. There should be laws that reports if there's an argument being made, oh, this person is this or whatever, there should always be the opportunity presented. And I understand as a reporter, sometimes people won't get back to you timely, then that's on them, okay? But if you reached out and you tried to get it in a timely manner and the person didn't want to give a statement or cooperate, that's on them. But you can at least say, yeah, we reached out to these people, but they didn't want to comment.
I felt like we saw a lot of people participating, as much as we could see more, but some of them just literally are busy, or they got lives to do things. But the fact is that I think people felt more grateful that we're not
one or the other.
Exactly, and I think the reason people feel that is because there's so much group polarization that it's nice to actually have someone who's neutral, that doesn't like, and that's what I keep saying is I feel like in government, the different government sides are polarized. And I feel like this is wrong because I feel like things are being manipulated and they're almost like trying to seek for people to fight their battles for them. And that's what I've noticed in political debates. The change I've noticed is that they're not debating anymore. They're not answering questions. They're not talking. And that's why they're not getting anywhere. And not just that, is like what the most frustrating thing is as a reporter is when I go and talk to a political party, it's like, hey, you keep putting down this party, okay? But what are you going to do about the problem? That's what I've noticed. Their new tactic is, and I've seen it on both sides, is blaming, oh, they're doing this and that and that. Okay, but what are you gonna do to fix that? Yeah. I think people are kind of tired of the blame game, and they're kind of
dodging the question.
The answers are being dodged and just put downs. And I think that the government needs to understand that they are the example. They are the example, and that's why we're getting like group polarization too, and political violence is because of I think they've lost the plot to debates. So anyways, we got a lot of good positive comments, and I thought it was nice to be able to have people voice their concerns and feelings and weigh in on their bills. I honestly think if the government really cares and wants the best interest of the people, they should be on the streets asking people their feelings and concerns, because I do find that certain politicians are a little out of touch. They don't live an ordinary, they can say they do, but they really don't live an ordinary life like everybody else. They kind of live like someone that's like famous. They do.
Well, because you need to think about it. And you know, what are they? They are the government
who govern us.
They govern.
And that's what my concern is I do feel like these days the government acts more like a business for themselves than actually governing the people. And I do. I talked to some students. We didn't get this on camera. This would have been so good. But a lot of students agreed that the government should not, a politician should not be paid as much as they should. Like, they were saying maybe they should make as much as a doctor or a lawyer, but they should not be giving themselves raise or keep making their pay higher than that. And I completely agree.
It's not like the same lives or anything like that, or doing anything, like they didn't go for extensive schooling for it.
Some of them don't go to school. Some of them haven't had degrees in that area, and it does show. But I don't think they should be upping their pay whenever they feel like it, and I don't think they should be paid more than a lawyer or a doctor. I really don't. I think there should be a cap. There should be a bill made on that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should there be a bill on how much politicians get paid? Do you think that might affect? I don't know. I'm curious your guys' thoughts.
I think they get paid plenty.
I think they get paid more than they should, because I think it can be hard for politicians to understand normal people if they're not in our shoes, if that makes sense. I feel like that's why I feel like they're running it like a business. That's what I feel like. Each political party, I feel like they're campaigning like a business. It does. They're promoting themselves like businesses, and I'm like, that's where people get kind of turned off by it. And I think these young people really like this neutral standing is because I think they're pushed so much and pressured into a certain belief.
I think everything has merit. Everyone has merit to their thoughts. Every thought has a reason and a rhyme. They don't need to, because we don't need to go up to them, just put down with their thoughts. respect their thoughts, and they respect our thoughts. And I think everyone respects each other's thoughts. The thing is that they just, when you say, oh, I'm this and I'm that, I'm meant to fight you. The fact is that it doesn't always have to be that way. The fact is that everyone don't fully go to this side or that side. Everyone's technically more in the middle than you think.
Actually, yeah, and that's what's beautiful about the Spectrum Street epistemology, is that it's not designed for students to debate each other. It's designed for them to have a conversation and even change perspectives and not feel judged. We had a great time. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, again, drop a comment if you go to a certain university in Calgary, Alberta, or even if you don't and you're in Canada, tell us what university you would love to see this done at. But yeah, like, drop a comment where you want us to visit, and perhaps, you don't know, maybe we'll surprise you.
Maybe you'll see us. But, you know, it's most likely we'll see you eventually.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for tuning in on this episode, and thank you for the students that followed us and participated. You guys are freaking awesome.
And collected our stickers.
Yeah, we know now how popular Instagram is.
We're buying more Instagram. Sorry,
stickers.
Guys. But we haven't run out yet.
We haven't run out. We're close though.
Yeah, we're probably down to our last 10 or so.
Yeah, we need more Insta. We need more Insta.
Yep, and now we need...
We'll get more sparkly. We need more sparkle stickers.
But everyone likes the shiny.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
It's so pretty.
Love it. I love it.
But maybe eventually we'll see if we can do a revamp. Anyways, take care, guys, and we'll see you off the record.
When the waves come crashing in, we will not back down. And when the lights start growing dim, we will stand our ground. It's what we prayed for. It's what we prayed for. It's what we prayed for. Time's come to rain.